welcome to our podcast where we discuss immigration challenges and developments in the UK. My name is Alicja Bielawska, a trainee solicitor at IMD Corporate, and I'm joined by Jarmila Entezari, a solicitor and senior associate with over 18 years of experience specializing in business immigration. Hi, Jarmila.
Hi, everyone.
Today we'll discuss employing and sponsoring overseas workers. Whether you are an employer considering hiring overseas talent or you've already taken steps in this process, this episode is for you.
Exactly. In this episode, we'll explore why it is beneficial and for some businesses crucial to hold a sponsor license and the critical points to be aware of, especially with recent cases like a judicial review challenge by a sponsor whose license was revoked due to non-compliance. We'll be unpacking some of these issues and offering advice on dealing with the process successfully.
So, who need a sponsor license in the UK?
Businesses across all sectors, from small independent retailers, including coffee shops and restaurants, to large multinational corporations, hospitals, and even charities, are making use of sponsor licenses to hire overseas workers to fill the gaps in employment markets. In the recent years, I've had the privilege of assisting businesses of all types and sizes through this process, including startups and sole traders. And recently, a tech company was featured in the media talking about how a sponsor license was key to their success in expanding their operations across the UK.
That's a great example. And it shows how diverse the types of businesses that benefit from a sponsor license can be. It's more than just large corporations. Small businesses are really gaining from this too. Let's talk about why sponsor licenses are becoming so crucial for businesses. One of the main drivers is the current shortage of workers in the UK. Sectors like construction, hospitality, and healthcare are really feeling the strain, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. The post-Brexit landscape has meant a reduction in available workers from the European Union. So many companies are turning to non-UK nationals to fill these gaps. And with growing demand in sectors like IT and engineering, the need for skilled workers from abroad is only going to increase.
So let's break down the benefits of having a sponsor license. For starters, it gives businesses access to a much wider pool of talent, right? Because they can hire someone from outside the UK.
Definitely, it allows employers to bring in skilled workers from overseas, from Europe or elsewhere, when they can't find suitable candidates locally. It's also a great way to diversify the workforce and introduce new ideas and perspectives into the business.
Okay, let's say a business applied for and secured a sponsor license. How long does it last and what's involved in maintaining it?
A license is valid indefinitely now, but maintaining it requires ongoing compliance. This includes monitoring the sponsored employees, ensuring they comply with the conditions, and keeping all records up to date. Any breaches can lead to penalties or even license revocation, as we've seen in recent cases.
Yeah, and I think it's a good moment to say that a sponsor license and visa is not the same. A sponsor license is something an employer has to obtain to employ workers from outside the UK. But those workers or employees, they will need to apply for a visa. So if you want to hire someone from abroad, you need a license as an employer, but your worker will need to apply for visa separately.
Yes, if they qualify, not every worker will qualify straight away. And I think we should record a podcast about visas as well.
Will do definitely. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty of applying. What costs are involved in getting a sponsor license?
There is the application fee, which depends on the size of the business. So today the fees are either £536 or £1,476. Alicia, do you know why there are two different application fees?
Yeah, there is a difference in size of the businesses, and to benefit from a lower fee, the business applying for the license must be classed as a small sponsor or be a charity. A company is usually a small sponsor if at least two of the following apply. So, first, their annual turnover is 10.2 million pounds or less, or their total assets are worth 5.1 million pounds or less, or they have 50 employees or fewer. Charity must be registered in England, Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland. If you are not on the register, you must provide a proof of your charitable status for tax purposes from HMRC. You must be an exempt charity, or ecclesiastical corporation established for charitable purposes.
There are additional costs such as the certificate of sponsorship for each worker. Each certificate costs £199. And don't forget the immigration skill charge, which can add a significant amount, especially for larger businesses. So for first 12 months, the cost for small sponsors is £364 and £1,000 for large sponsors. And each additional 6 months costs £182 for small sponsors and £500 each large sponsor. It's important for employers to budget for these costs when applying for the sponsored workers.
There used to be a requirement to conduct a resident labor market test before hiring from abroad. Has that changed?
Yes, the formal test, as it was with strict requirements for the replacement was replaced, and now the duration of the advert is no longer required, but employers still need to show that they've made genuine efforts to find workers in the UK first. They need to be transparent about why they need to hire someone from overseas.
What does it mean, a genuine effort to find a worker in the UK?
Well, they have to try to find them locally to give opportunity to the workers from the UK's domestic work pool. I normally advise to put an advert that they seek an employee in the UK and then attach a copy of such advert to license application.
Mhm. Once you have the license, what are the key compliance issues businesses should be aware of?
Well, one major issue businesses face when employing foreign workers is failing to keep proper records or notifying the Home Office of important changes in a worker's circumstances, for example, a promotion, a change in job role, or even personal details such as worker's home address. Under the UK immigration law, businesses that hold a sponsor license are required to comply with strict record keeping and reporting obligations.
And it's important to mention that the Home Office carries out audits of sponsors' premises to check that the sponsored worker is carrying out duties according to certificate of sponsorship. And of course, as you mentioned, that the sponsor is compliant.
Yes, sponsorship responsibilities are essential for maintaining the sponsor license.
Yeah, even small errors, such as forgetting to update the Home Office about these changes, can trigger a compliance visit from the Home Office. And during these visits, immigration officers will inspect the company's records, policies, and practices to ensure they are in line with the requirements of the sponsorship system. And if the officers are not satisfied with the level of compliance, the consequences can be severe. This can include financial penalties, which could be substantial, and in more serious cases, even the revocation of the sponsor license.
Well, the best outcome of the Home Office finding a non-compliance really would be having the license downgraded and be given a plan to rectify any identified errors. This is costly. There are fees to be paid for the Home Office plan. Losing the sponsor license can have a profound impact on a business, as it would mean they are no longer permitted to hire foreign workers, potentially disrupting their workforce and business's operation.
Moreover, a lack of compliance can lead to reputational damage and difficulties in applying
Mhm.
for a new license in the future. For these reasons, it's crucial for employers to have systems in place to ensure accurate reporting and record keeping to stay compliant with Home Office regulations. And of course, we can advise and assist with this. To end on a positive note, I think it's fair to say that holding a sponsor license opens up many opportunities for businesses looking to hire talent from abroad. However, it does come with significant responsibilities, in particular when it comes to compliance.
Yes, and our key takeaway is that while the process can seem daunting, the benefits outweigh the challenges, especially if you have the right support in place.
And that's where we come in. At IMD Corporate, we assist businesses with everything from the initial application process to ongoing compliance, ensuring that they are well equipped to deal with complexities of the UK immigration system.
Exactly. And if you are considering applying for a sponsor license or you need advice on maintaining one, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to help every step of the way.
Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you in the next episode.